my height is 162 centimeter and the requirement is 165 centimeter.
Wow.
So because of 3 centimeter, I missed the IPS. He says that happens only in Bombay films. You know, review meeting, annual review meeting.
Right.
And everybody after the meeting is over is served, you know, wine and whiskey.
Right.
So when my turn came in, all my glass, I said I don't drink.
Right.
So he said, what do you want? So I said Limca, because that was my favorite drink.
Right.
So everybody had, you know, different color except mine was a white color Limca. So D.D. Chopra said, there is one person who doesn't drink.
Right.
Now, is it a positive or is it a negative?
Right.
So many people say, negative, sir. How can a salesperson live without drinking?
That's right. Yeah.
He says, yes,
that's
you will.
normal condition,
He
sir.
says, you will always drink,
Ah.
but this guy will always rise
Ah.
in life.
Oh.
Because whatever, we will all go out of our senses.
Right.
He is the only person who will remain in senses.
Right. आपने जो फोटो लिए होंगे तो जरूर आपको वो फोटो मिल गया होगा जो फोटो राजीव गांधी ने पहन के शूट किया होगा.
Last photograph before death,
Before that.
when he was assassinated.
Uh-huh.
It was the last photograph at the Chennai airport taken by a photographer of Hindu newspaper.
Oh.
And then it was splashed on the next day.
Oh.
And that these are the photographs just before his death. और हमारी किस्मत बड़ी अच्छी थी.
हाँ.
90s में, early 90s में, economy has started opening up. Liberalization has started.
Yes.
First time satellite channels have come to India.
G was that.
So Z came in and MTV came in, V channel came in, and then we realized.
Z was the first. I think
Yes,
we should give
Z and Star, these both.
No, sorry, Star came later on.
Star
In
no.
fact, Star was brought by Subhash Chandra. Right? Even
Absolutely.
today, if you're talking about all this part that so many channels are coming and something.
Z was the pioneer.
Just a pioneer. And we should give salute to Subhash Chandra.
What
he exactly
he
saw.
brought in.
And not only this guy is a visionary. आप IPL इतना लोग कहते हैं ना, he was a person who could see कि ऐसा हो सकता है.
बिल्कुल.
Of course, as a personal individual, he was not successful. So now I continue, sir. Yeah.
So we realized कि हमारे पास budget कम था, so where to spend money was MTV V channel was the cheapest rates available. But that fits into my target customer.
Yeah, that's correct.
Because youngsters were only looking at V channel music and MTV and fashion channel. And they were all. And secondly,
but how could you see the fashion channel in a house in front of everybody? मैं अगर fashion channel देखूं तो मेरी बीवी एक ही बात बोलेगी, तुम्हें और कुछ नहीं मिला देखने के लिए.
नहीं, 90s में एक और भी transformation हुआ. That suddenly from joint family system, it became into nuclear family. So lot many people from villages etc. settled down only as a family, wife and husband and 2 children. So then they were independent. So they were watching.
बच्चे सो गए तो वही देखते.
बच्चे सो गए तो वही देखते.
अच्छा, पर गलती से कर रहा गया, बच्चे ने भी देखना शुरू कर दिया तो
कोई बात नहीं, वो फैशनेबल बनेगा.
अच्छा चलिए ठीक है. That's all credit goes to you, right? What next?
So MTV channel पे जो प्रोग्राम बकरा स्टार्ट हुआ, MTV पे जो रोडीज स्टार्ट हुआ, all were sponsored by Woodland.
What is that?
In the beginning.
That's good. Right.
And that's why we became a craze in the college.
Right.
All North Campus, South Campus annual fests were sponsored by Woodland.
Yeah.
And particularly 2 events,
right.
A rock show and fashion show.
Wow, great. Exactly.
Because,
the youngsters.
Yeah, youngsters. So we made a great impact on students. And I remember when we were using this launching our girls collection.
Right.
So what we did was we went on Miss World promotion.
Wow.
Miss World in 94. Before that, long back, 20 years ago, Rita Faria had become Miss World. So nobody was expecting an Indian girl to Miss.
Right.
But somehow or the other, I had a gut feel in 94.
So many people say that all the Miss World and all these things is already pre-planned, seeing the market.
Well, not in the 90s. After the success of Miss World and Miss Universe, from 2000 onwards, these are fixed like cricket matches.
Is that?
Yes.
You believe in this?
Absolutely.
Because
like before 2000, cricket was very serious cricket.
Very serious game.
And people used to play very competitive. But after this, the game became very commercialized. And people started,
fixing everything.
Getting a lot of payments and all that. So it became the money game.
Money game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not here saying that what is fixed or not fixed. Like you, we are the human being. and we are sharing our thoughts, right?
Absolutely.
So we are not saying that it is always fixed.
Not all are fixed. You are right.
So not all are fixed like that. We have to see that. But exactly, I personally believe that most of the Miss India or Miss World, especially Miss World or Miss Universe, were given to the lady of the country where there's a bigger market.
Yeah,
that's one of the point.
This is what many people say, that Indians were chosen in 90s because these were the developing countries. After that they went to Brazil and other developing countries. Then they went to South Africa because the reason was they wanted the growing economies actually because they have to sell their products. So this is how.
अगर ये नहीं होता तो 90 के पहले जब हमारे पास जो लिबरलाइजेशन नहीं होता था तो पहले भी तो सुंदर लड़कियां हमारे पास
60 से 90 के बीच में
सुंदर हुई
जीता ही नहीं,
सुंदर हुई नहीं लड़कियां ना, अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, अकॉर्डिंग टू
ऐसा नहीं था,
नहीं ऐसा तो था, अकॉर्डिंग टू देम कोई ब्यूटीफुल लड़की हुई नहीं. बट जैसे इंडिया लिबरलाइज हुआ तब से क्या हुआ कि इंडिया में ब्यूटीफुल कंट्री, ब्यूटीफुल लड़की आने लगी एंड समथिंग लाइक दैट, राइट?
सुष्मिता सेन, यूनिवर्स, this girl Aishwarya won Miss World. So when we launched this female collection, women collection in Woodland, idea came that we should sponsor Miss World, because Aishwarya Rai is participating. So my chairman said, why I am spending money 2 lakh rupees on this? Are you sure that Miss Aishwarya Rai is going to win? I said she may win or not, but she will be in top 10. That is my gut feel. He said, okay, if it is a gut feel, why should I spend money on your gut feel?
That's good.
So there has to be some solid reasoning. So I said she will reach at least in top 10 and probably in the semi-final. And secondly, we are launching our women collection. So we need some event which should, because otherwise people feel Woodland is a man's macho image. So
and
how
the product was like this.
How to bring the women to at least have a look at the Woodland? So the only way is to sponsor some program. So he said, are you connecting with some event? Because you are a man who always believes in event. I said, no, since you have told me, next week to coincide with Miss World result, we will go on our Rath Yatra, and that was a first canter in Delhi in the Christmas 25th December to 1st January. We hired a canter, converted into a Woodland Rath, and brought in some nice orchestra on that, and went from Jesus and Mary to LSR College to entire South Campus, and then concluded at Miranda with a gift show, and all the girls' college. And after that, no looking back at all.
You went to the rich, you went to the cream people. Right.
The people came to know that yes, we have launched a women collection also.
Acha, you tell me when did you leave Lotto? When did you leave this Woodland?
I mean, we touched 100 crores in just 6 years. My target was to do 100 crore in 10 years. So I launched in 93, and in 99, 2000, I touched 100
just
crore.
Half and a year.
Within 6 years. And then somehow or the other, we had some difference of opinion with our top management.
How do you handle emotionally when you have to leave the company which you nourish so well? आपको कितना बुरा लगता है कि आपको लगता है आपने खून पसीना से कंपनी को हासिल किया और एक दिन उस ऑफिस को आपको ऐसे छोड़ना होता है कि मैं दूसरी बार वापस नहीं आऊंगा? How do you feel that?
Emotionally, it's quite difficult, very difficult. Because
did you cry for that? That you made a company such a big?
Yes. I tell you, when you leave a company, and particularly if you have worked over 5 years, and you feel that you have given your blood and sweat for that brand to be.
Absolutely. Honestly. Day and night you are giving.
So you feel very sad that management has not listened to your advice. And you are forced to quit. Like in case of Lotto, when I left, I always thought I would never have left Lotto, provided they have accepted either my headquarter choice or shifted my family to Bombay.
Correct.
That was the only crisis.
This is a small one.
But some or the other things do not. Same in RANBAXY. If they would not have actually held up my promotion and brought in director marketing relative, I would never have left RANBAXY. And third, Woodland, I worked 11 years. So I built the brand from scratch.
आपने पूरी जवानी दे दी उसको?
पूरी जवानी. 40 से 50. Peak time. और उस time even the chairman used to tell me, company is mine, Aero Group. Brand is your baby. It is your baby. You have actually made this brand. Right. And it used to give me a lot of motivation when chairman tells this is your brand. Company is mine, but this is your brand. Do you think in
Indian company most time it happens कि हमारी company से मेरी company बहुत जल्दी हो जाती है? Do you say that?
ऐसा होता है.
And it's very painful.
Very painful.
It's very painful.
And actually, the biggest pain is that when management initially gives you a lot of powers.
Yeah.
When they feel they need you.
They need you. Yeah.
When you accomplish success, you as a professional accept more powers and they start
cutting the wings.
Because they feel now you have become too powerful. So
they
become insecure.
Asking you rather than me.
So they become insecure. I think this is a problem.
But sometimes, sir, it's out the other way out. In fact, I made one professional MD, and the chairman was like, Lala, what do you say? He was saying, Lala ko ye nahi aata, Lala ko ye nahi aata, Lala ko nahi aata, people come only to me. So many times, कई बार लगता है मुझे कि चेयरमैन को भी देखना होता है कि ठीक है यार, जब प्रोफेशनल व्यक्ति है उसको भी मर्यादा को रखे कि चेयरमैन तो मैं ही हूँ ना. बिल्कुल. So कई बार ये भी फीलिंग होती है.
वो तो बिल्कुल आपकी बात सही है. After all, I always say, if I had given my blood, sweat, the entire money and the entire this vision was of chairman.
Yes, of course. Vision of the chairman.
It was his vision that he selected me.
It's a win-win. It should be the win-win. Yeah, right.
It was his vision that he gave me a product. I was not a product man.
Product, power,
he gave me the product.
Product, power, resource, everything.
You see, so this is always, give and take, both sides. But one feeling of insecurity to the top management when it's a family-driven company comes in. That if some professional becomes very powerful then it starts hurting them somewhere. They want to cut the wings so that he's grounded. They don't want him to leave.
Fly. And that's a very bad part.
They don't want him to leave, but they cut the wings. But a self-respecting professional would not like to live there. He would like to say,
आप उसके पंख तो कतर दिए और फिर कहते हैं तो उड़ता नहीं है. So that's
इससे अच्छा नए पंख लगाओ.
That's what. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a very, very emotional sharing. Being myself as a consultant, I meet many Indian lalas as well as the paid professionals, and I many times see what's wrong and what's right going on. I know that's many times for the employee who has given their life for the organizations and one day come out that यहाँ पे मुझे कल से नहीं आना. It's a very, very, very painful.
Huge setback, huge shock. And for a few months, you need some sort of a relaxation to come out of it.
Absolutely. In fact,
otherwise you cannot.
I remember that when I left RANBAXY, and since I was in the team of the Bhai Parvinder Singh, and after leaving job, एक दिन तो ऐसा हुआ कि मैंने सुबह मोटरसाइकिल उठा करके मैं ऑफिस पहुंच गया. Then after reaching there, I said, मैं तो जॉब छोड़ चुका, मैं क्यों आया हूँ? And then I said, oh my God. And then I learned that love your work, don't love the company. This is another girlfriend which can ditch you at any point of a time, and she will not look back. And तुम्हारे सामने किसी और को हाथ में पकड़ के लेके जाएगी और तुम देखते रह जाओगे.
Absolutely.
That's what exactly. I think metaphor is the wrong I've given, but that's how the point is. That's I tell my office people also, boss and key boss. We are here to retire, but retire from the company. But at the same time, you have to keep in your mind also that अपने आप को develop करो कि किसी भी परिस्थिति में आपको ये कंपनी छोड़नी पड़ी, जो कि आज तो मेरे हाथ में कंट्रोल है. The moment becomes we are going to the listed company, so we don't know what is the power, what is the things are going on. So आपको अपने आप को develop करना है, ताकि मतलब when you go ना, you say ठीक है, सही हुआ, जो हुआ सो सही हुआ. So many a times, in fact, people say कि तू ऐसा क्यों बोलता है अपने कंपनी के लिए? But नहीं, the fact is I feel contented that I'm honest.
Yes.
Because I have come from the working family.
Yes.
मैं एक जॉब किया हूँ और मुझे पता है कि जॉब जाने के बाद कितना पेन होता है. और आप विश्वास नहीं करोगे, मेरे कंपनी में जब किसी को निकालना होता है, हटाना होता है, आई एम इन द फेवर कि मत हटाओ. आई एम डेडलाइन लास्ट मोमेंट तक आई एम इन द फेवर कि नहीं हटाओ.
That's a good approach.
And this is
positive approach.
That's very last moment तक. But जिसको काम करवाना हो तो बोलता है कि सर अगर ये रहा ना तो मैं काम नहीं कर पाऊंगा. But once I create a position, I give a power, and then I believe in the power. With expectation that वो गलती भी करता है ना तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Because you are human being.
Human being जो करेगा उसी से गलती होगी ना.
करेगा 8 ठीक करेगा 2 गलत होंगे.
ठीक है.
He is not God.
But most of the time in Lala's culture I find that 2 गलती को पकड़ के बैठ जाते हैं, 8 सही करते हैं.
8 को तो भूल जाएंगे.
8 को भूल जाएंगे. That's wrong.
Because 8 आपकी ड्यूटी थी करना.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're becoming an entrepreneur, this interview is a life learning. And this is the MBA course you're going to get out of this. Is a practical MBA. The person who has worked with many companies and served many companies and sharing all his pain and pleasure, his skill and everything like that. This is wonderful talking to you, sir. I'm enjoying because...
Me too. Particularly talking to a person like P.S. Rathore, who has been an inspiration to me. I have read about him earlier, even before meeting him. He was an inspiration when I read his book. And when I saw his program on ZTV one day, Firewalk, I was enthralled. Is it possible? I always wanted to meet this gentleman, P.S. Rathore, कि आदमी वाकई फायर पे चल सकता है. And suddenly one day I got an opportunity when I was working with Jaipuria Institute of Management in 2017, and I was heading the my JMC, Jaipuria Annual Management Conference, as well as Entrepreneurship Cell. So for my Entrepreneurship Cell, I wanted somebody to come as a guest of honor to give an motivational speech to the students. I could not think of anybody else, although my chief guest was Business World Chairman, again a very good friend, Anurag Batra. But then as a guest of honor who has to deliver a motivational speech for half an hour. So I thought, let me invite this time although I have never met him that time very closely, did not knew much. So I called him and he readily accepted to be my guest of honor at Jaipuria in 2017. I know him in those 5 years ago, and I tell you, it was an electrifying atmosphere at our auditorium in Jaipuria. The students really literally danced on his words and on his questions and on his answers. Not only that, when he gave them a motivational speech, people were saying again, once again, sir, once again. And I, as far as I remember, once that program got over, I got so much of, thumbs up from my students that you invited the right person who really motivated us. So thanks to him. So I saw his power, the power of motivation with which, and the conviction with which he convinced my students on that day. And after that, I have become his foremost admirer. And he has become one of my closest friends also, incidentally, though we do not meet much, but we are constantly in touch. And this is called a relationship. With love for each other, regard for each other, respect for each other, that we don't meet. I think I am meeting him after a long time, but that relationship of knowing each other remains there for the last 5 years.
That was my pleasure. In fact, I remember that when I came out, there was a long queue to have photographs. Even they were not allowing me to have a lunch, in fact. And he was saying, abhi hai, like this is. See, I personally believe that I don't have any powers. I believe deeply in the Shiva. I adore him. Shiva is energy. And I worship the energy of the Shiva. And Shiva, I personally believe, is not a god, is an energy. And in the universe, in the entire world, he is worshipped as energy. So I too respect him, and I really love him. That's what the point. So when I speak somewhere on the platform, on the stage, I always remember him and Shiva. And I say that whatever I speak should be beneficial to the people who are listening to me. So it's not like me people should know, the energy people should know.
I will add one thing more here.
Right.
The P.S. Rathore, which I knew before that program, was a normal human being. But after that program, I saw the energy just like Lord Shiva's energy in him when he was performing there at the stage.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Coming to the point, in fact, very interesting talking to you about, obviously, forget about me, in fact, you are the institution. Let's go and connect with this. So, when you left self-respect, emotions, self-esteem, so many things, whatever name he came, it happens like this. Because I'm working with so many Indian lalas, I know what happens. It's very painful that many times I met a person, I'll not name it because even the Lala is close to me and the person is also close to me. I don't know how to tell you in an interview. That guy gave his life for the company. But one day, Darwan asked him, you are not supposed to enter an office. एंड 3 महीने का सैलरी उसको चेक लेके बढ़ा हुआ था. उसको इतना भी टाइम नहीं दिया गया कि ऊपर केबिन से जाके अपना लैपटॉप निकाल सके. एंड देन इन द डेस्परेट टेयर ही कॉल्ड मी. Rathore, what you do? Nothing. It's a normal phenomenon, baby. Come on. We are going to have a coffee together.
Yeah.
He came to my office also. रात को 8 बज गया था. He came to the office and he was said, ये करते हैं.
That way, I will add one thing.
Right.
I have been very lucky. Whichever company I have left, whether Lala, MNC or any, I have been respected in each company. Gates have never been closed for me.
Wow.
Rather, every Lala still comes to see me off at the gates.
That's right, that you are written the Lala land. That's what point.
Everybody comes to see me off, whether it's a managing director of that company, whether I can vouch for it, that respect which they give you,
right?
Actually, the honor which I get, हिंदी में कहावत है, उनके सब को कर्म भी माफ है उसके लिए.
Thank you. Now, I have seen, in fact, I was in the Bidai ceremony of the Raji Badaria sir, and in that ceremony, Naveen Jindal sir, Sajjan Jindal sir, Prithviraj Jindal sir, and all Jindal four brothers were there. They were tearing out. तो respect भी करते हैं, ऐसा बात नहीं है. वो तो respect भी करते हैं. वो तो मेरी आंखों देखी हुई चीज़ है.
This is a very big thing. If you are still respected, and that's a proof that today, when I am at the colleges like BIMTECH or in Jaipuria, and when I am given a responsibility to invite people, and I think this relationship, that I have maintained the relation even with the company's managing director who have left me or I have left them, irrespective of that. Personal rapport, personal relationship is there. We may have dropped professional relationship,
but personal has to carry. Personal has to be carried.
So I think today I am very proud to say.
कई बार लोग तो professional and personal को अलग रखना बहुत मुश्किल काम है.
बहुत मुश्किल है. It's a thin line. लेकिन आप ये सोचो कि when I launched this book, My Woodland, all the 5 managing directors of the company on whom I have written, they were present in the hall.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's very good. बुक को सक्सेस करने के लिए और क्या चाहिए?
Liberty, Woodland,
आदेश गुप्ता जी was,
Anupam Bansal, Mr. Sports Station India's Rishabh Soni, they were there. Both the directors, Director Chaturvedi, BIMTECH. I was not working there. I worked 2008 there. Right. Plus G&D, Disney shoes. They were all there in the hall during the launch. It proves that how great relationship.
I'm very sorry. In fact, I missed it because of misunderstanding. I thought that I missed it because I thought that is a digital platform.
No,
I didn't know. I didn't.
Because it was a COVID time. Many people thought
that
right. It will be definitely online.
Online, yes. But I missed it. This is my loss. Now, coming to the point, when you left Woodland, what company did you join and how you went ahead?
I became a consultant after leaving Woodland. The reason was there were 2 reasons. One was after enjoying
But here coming to the point, sorry, I came in between. Once you are the vice president or the India head and something, you have a power also. But the moment you become consultant, you have no power. So again, I think you must have gone through the...
I got through. I'm coming to that point only.
What happened?
I joined as a consultant because I realized nobody is offering me the same power, the same position.
Right.
And there is no availability at that
time. Which is the company you joined as a consultant?
One was Adidas.
Right.
And the second was Liberty.
Again, Adidas is a multinational, Liberty is an Indian from Karnal.
So, at Adidas, I became their distribution consultant.
Right.
At Liberty, I became their retail consultant.
360 degree.
So there was no conflict between them. And I really gave a lot of mine to advices to them. And their business in Adidas have increased to such an extent in 1 year. And same here, we opened so many stores.
I think Adidas was acquired by some other company, right?
No, Adidas, the Reebok was acquired by Adidas.
Reebok was acquired by Adidas.
Reebok was acquired by Adidas.
That's the reason when we went to the DLF mall, we thought that we want to buy Reebok. He said, "Wahan pe bhi le lo, hamara hi hai." That's a point, right? This is,
So, you now raise a question. I was earning good money, working with 2 companies, as a consultant, double income, literally.
Double income,
But no powers. Now, it is just like working a president of India with no power. Prime Minister sends all the bill and you have to just sign it. So, for me, it was a very difficult situation because I was a man of action.
Right.
And suddenly I found There is no action from my side. Right. I'm only advising, and others are not acting the way I want. The execution was not being held the way I wanted it to. So success ratio was also 50%.
Naturally, see, if you're planning and not implementing, how it can be that just like? So that did this Lala people say that is high-headed. He wants his work to be done.
People do feel that way. There's always a conflict. There's always a conflict.
But many times I feel that in Indian setup, in Indian scenario, in Indian space, the Lala's space, they trust consultants sometimes more than their employee.
Well, they hire consultants to listen to them, but they always execute what is there in their mind. They pay a good handsome amount to even foreign companies when they hire them, when they understand young and all those. But finally they take their decision, own decision.
जो लाला सोचता है वही स्ट्रैटेजी लाला की सोच ही स्ट्रैटेजी है
लेकिन वो सुनना पसंद करता है चारों पांचों क्वार्टर से उसकी भी सुन ली उसकी भी सुन ली
बट ऐसा क्यों
एंड फाइनली बिकॉज ही गेट्स ए वैलिडेशन कि जो मैंने सोचा है वही
Do you think this is the nature of the autocratic leadership?
It is
autocratic.
It is autocratic.
Authoritative. Yeah. They listen to everybody, but they do exactly what they feel. What they want, like this. But sometimes some leadership in India has done very well by following this autocratic.
Well, if you look at the success of Indian companies, family-driven companies, which includes Ambani's, Adani's, Birla's or Tata's, all are actually
family managed. Professionally taught, family managed. Absolutely.
All are very huge companies and very successful.
Very successful companies.
I think the reason of their success is that they do few things very correctly.
Correct. Such as?
For example, succession.
So
they keep law of succession.
But when is succession? See in the Tatas, what happens? Mistry came and it was a blunder.
Yeah, that's a blunder.
Because
he was an outsider.
No, he was not outsider. Mistry was an insider. In fact, even today in that company, he has got the majority of the holding. Right. The majority of the holding, right?
That is an exception to the rule.
Right, exception to the rule. But why I'm talking about that? Leadership style, let it be autocratic or let it be democratic, let it be inspirational or let it be transactional, whatever might be. Nobody can say the one is absolutely wrong and another is absolutely correct.
You are very right. I totally agree with
the context.
It depends on how are you running and which type of company.
Which type they come in. Rather, a same person, sometime autocratic and some. See, I'll tell you the last is fair leadership. PR Jindal Saab. PR Jindal Saab कभी interfere ही नहीं करते. जब जरूरत होता है तभी करते हैं. And company is doing wonderfully well. People are very satisfied. Amazing. That's the point. So, coming to the again question about this is being a consultant and you found that your idea is not being implemented
the way I wanted.
The way you wanted.
So I finally decided to go back to the mainstream
education.
No, mainstream industry.
Industry again?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
how old you were there at the time?
Well, I was 50 plus already, 52.
That's right.
So I got an offer from Ashok Mathur, again my mentor, who started his own company, Sierra Sports Station India Private Limited.
Right.
He said, I am launching Lotto again, second time.
Right.
So you were selling Lotto. Who better than you?
No,
so come and join me. So in 2004, I joined him and worked till 2005 end.
Right.
Launched Lotto Sports Shoes. Sania Mirza, you were saying. I signed Sania Mirza.
Can you share the experience how you signed? What idea came in your mind to sign her?
You see, one idea in Woodland, I told you we were not depending on ambassadors. But when I joined Adidas, I realized that Adidas signed up Sachin Tendulkar, Virendra Sehwag, Zahir Khan, and our competitor Reebok signed the entire cricket team, Dhoni, Dravid, and all that. So, and I realized one thing, that the brands have become overnight successful because of the brand power, the ambassador power. Then I realized that the people
India is a very peculiar country.
So you have to follow. कहते हैं कहावत है, live in Rome like Romans live, sell in India like Indians sell.
That's right.
So simple है. So there was a successful formula that people are liking brand ambassador concept. So I suggested Lotto, why can't we have a brand ambassador? They said we don't have that much of money to take a cricketer. I said don't take a cricketer, take somebody, sports person, and then we make tennis shoes. And tennis is not very popular.
So you search tennis because he's hot and sexy, right?
And when we did research, we realized that all the men's tennis players have become old and have no standing whatsoever in top 100.
I don't agree with that. But men's were there, in fact. You searched only because he was good looking.
No.
You will agree with this?
At that
Hot
time,
and sexiness was a part of it.
Vijay Amritraj, Anand Amritraj, everybody had by that time,
So why not this guy? Why not the subtle guy? This was like.
But we were making shoes for tennis, so we thought.
No, you were going for the glamour also.
Yeah, well, we found her quite attractive girl. We found her very young.
I said hot and sexy. You said attractive.
16-year-old girl, and a very good communicator. She was a great speaker in Hindi, Urdu, English, all.
Right.
So we thought.
But ad में तो कुछ बोलना था नहीं ज़्यादा.
Ad में नहीं बोलना.
चेहरा ही तो था.
Interview देने में तो बहुत है ना.
अच्छा ठीक.
TV के interview अगर वो 3 साल की आपकी brand ambassador है, people talk to her. So she will speak. So she has to be a good spokesperson.
अच्छा agreement में वो भी आता है. Okay.
So because if she is wearing a Lotto t-shirt and giving an interview, and if she is a very good looking girl, she is a very good speaking girl and can speak in 3 languages, it goes to your advantage.
But see, if you see, this is the criteria and parameter. Then what? In fact, Kapil Dev was not a very good speaker earlier. In fact,
that's why he did not get too many offers of the.
Is that?
That was the reason. And today also, you gave a fantastic example now. That prompts me. How many brands were VVS Lakshman got? He was a great batsman. Rahul Dravid, how many brands he got in comparison to look at Sachin Tendulkar and MS Dhoni?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking a break. What exactly he's saying that apart from the talent, you should have a good communication skill. It helps everywhere. Absolutely. Apart from chase game, I believe. There people don't care, right? Yeah. So, but apart from that, if you're playing cricket, you have to learn. You have
to communicate well.
You have to communicate well. So communication is the life. Right, that's what exactly. Wherever and whatever you do.
So I think this girl Sania was a great communicator, and with that, if you have a beautiful face, it's like
cool. What the cools, right?
Sone pe suhaga.
Sona pe suhaga. That's what. So this was also one of the reasons, right?
Yeah. So that worked wonders with us. And second, her ranking suddenly, she started playing so well from 16 year to 19 year that till she was in the contract with us, her ranking straight away went. She was below 100, and suddenly. Over 100, and suddenly she became in top 25.
You call it again a destiny?
I call it a luck, destiny.
Yeah, destiny, because you signed at the minimum price and
she became overnight. I remember we signed her at a very modest price.
Right.
But within 1 week of our signing, she signed Coca-Cola at 1/4 the rate, or 4 times higher rate than what we paid.
That time she could have been unaffordable for you.
Absolutely.
So right time पे सही चीजें हो जाती हैं.
बिल्कुल सही चीजें हो जाती हैं. So that is.
How long you worked in that company?
Lotto, 2 years.
Not this company. Again Lotto. New Lotto.
Yeah, new Lotto, 2 years.
2 years.
Then I got an offer from New Balance, again a very prestigious brand from USA, and I got a designation which was very good, Director Sales Marketing from Vice President. And 3, I became independent in charge at Royal Sporting House to launch this brand in India. The brand which was completing 100 years worldwide.
Wow.
It was a 100-year-old American brand.
Right.
And biggest charm for me was it was an American Boston-based company. Right. And I was told that every year there is 2 conferences and I'll have to go to USA. I had never been to USA. So I thought it's a golden opportunity to join company ke paise pe America ghum ke aayenge.
That's what the youngster also thinks. After becoming CEO, I must join the company and get a placement in US, in UK and something. Anyway, so what happened?
So luckily I joined the company and we celebrated 100 years in a very beautiful way below the Qutub Minar in a royal way, and Americans were damn happy with the launch of that 100 years. And they invited to Boston, and in fact the India launch was considered as one of the best launches at that time. Then because of that company, Jim Davis, the New Balance chairman, invited me also to Shanghai to be part of Asia Pacific meet. And so I saw Shanghai also thanks to New Balance. So China and America I could see because of New Balance. It was a misfortune that Royal Sporting House decided to pull out of India in 2007. So I had to quit that company before company totally. So, but as again, you see, luck has always favored me in that way.
That's right.
I leave one company. I have never made my CV in my life.
Oh, that's all connections.
Yeah,
all connections.
I get a call. I get the straight away appointment letter. Nobody has asked my CV.
See, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly in the corporate world the work speaks, and work speaks when you have a friends. I always tell in my all programs that you have a friends who can hold your hand when you need them, and this is possible only and only when you are the most efficient worker. If you love what you do and you are absolutely excellent in that, लोग आपके पीछे होंगे, आप जॉब के पीछे नहीं होंगे. That's what exactly you're saying. Right? Yeah. That's the point. Because what is a big statement कि कभी मैंने अपना सीवी नहीं बनाया. अच्छा सर, मैं आपसे भी ऊपर हूँ सर. मेरे पास अगर आज कोई पूछे कि आपके पास CE BCom क्लास 10 का सर्टिफिकेट है क्या, नहीं है. जब मैं दिल्ली आया तो मैं एक बरसाती में रहता था और रात को बारिश हुई. और बारिश होने के बाद जिस सूटकेस में था वो पूरा पानी से भर गया,
सब खराब हो गया.
और सुबह देखा तो एकदम गल गया. Then I decided कि ये तो बहुत बड़ी एसेट है यार. Then I said मेरे को इसकी क्या जरूरत है. Trust me, and I said, and I was in work. See my confidence. मेरा confidence देखिए. I was working. I said, I was in RANBAXY. And I said, जरूरत क्या है इसकी? As if कि मुझे कभी जिंदगी में जॉब करना ही नहीं है. And that's what happened. That's called जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. Anyway, so now coming to the other points, then after leaving this company, what do you did?
But after this leaving Crocs and HI-TEC, I got an offer. I launched Crocs. I launched HI-TEC in India.
Right.
That gave me an opportunity to see some new parts of the world.
Right.
Like in HI-TEC, I was invited to UK.
Right.
London, I had never been earlier.
Again, company के पैसे.
So again, company के पैसे पे पूरा London देखा, घूमा. My boss was good. He was so happy with my work. So he said, why don't you also go to Crocs meeting in Australia? I had never been to Australia. So Melbourne visit kiya, stayed in Hilton MCG, just opposite Melbourne Cricket Ground. That was a dream. So I went to see Melbourne Cricket Ground and plus tennis grounds next to MCG. And it was another dream fulfilled thanks to this company, Crocs and HI-TEC.
Right.
So I think
that's called the gratitude to the company.
Yeah,
that's a gratitude to the company. Yeah, right.
So God has been very kind. I have seen many parts of the world, all at the expense of the companies rather than my own. But I'm a satisfied, a contented person.
You have got every reason, in fact. And
I'm very satisfied, contented person. And I had always an offer that when you age and when you are jobless or when you don't want to retire after you don't want to do job, then director of BID Institute of Management, one day in 2002, when I was delivering a lecture to students there, when I was hiring for my Woodland brand, had told me that you are a good speaker. You can be a very good professor.
Teacher.
So why don't you try after you retire, become a professor?
Correct.
Because we need people from industry to pass on the information and every advice to our. So I said, obviously, I will come to you, don't worry. So in 2008, January 1st, when I quit on 31st December, my last job, I thought I will now become a professor. So I went to BIMTECH.
So now you are a professor.
So I became a professor at BIMTECH. I remained for 1.5 years. Then I was with ITS Ghaziabad and I was teaching all the courses of my choice. Sales management, retail management, consumer behavior and brand management. And then suddenly, again there was a call from industry in 2011. So in 2011, I went back to the industry.
Wow, again.
For 1 year, I launched LOTTO shoes again, third time in India. After 1 year contract was over, I got again a dream positioning of CEO. I always wanted to become one day to be called a CEO rather than vice president or director. So
you could open a company and the very first day, CEO, right?
So G&D Group offered me a CEO's post of Disney Footwear.
Okay.
So Disney was launching their footwear in a big way through G&D for 3-year license.
Right.
So he hired me for 3 years as a CEO on contract basis.
Right.
So my dream was fulfilled. So that gave me suddenly one day an idea that now my dreams are fulfilled. So one day when I am relaxed, when I am quite contented, I will write a book on my own journey.
Question, in fact,
own journey.
What made you to write the LOTTO?
So I thought My journey has lots of ups and downs, lot of drama,
अच्छा सर, कभी ऐसा
lot
हुआ,
of emotion.
कभी ऐसा हुआ कि जिंदगी में पैसे नहीं हो? क्योंकि मेरे साथ ऐसा बहुत बार हुआ है।
मेरे साथ तो बहुत बार हुआ है।
फिर आप कैसे, जैसे मेरे पास तो कई बार ऐसे, लेट मी टेल यू, खाने के ही पैसे नहीं होते थे। अच्छा, कई बार तो अभी भी होते हैं सर कि मेरे बैंक में भी पैसे नहीं है, मेरे क्रेडिट कार्ड भी एग्जॉस्टेड है और मैं मर्सिडीज में चल रहा हूँ।
That's a good one.
So how do you manage? In fact, पैसे ही नहीं है।
I think क्या होता है, एक स्टेज आ जाती है जब आप बहुत पैसा भी देख लेते हो, फिर आपको पैसे की वैल्यू भी महसूस हो जाती है, बट एट द सेम टाइम you are so contented, you are so relaxed, and you do not worry because some or the other it gives you a lot of inner strength.
But sir, पैसे नहीं है, क्या करेंगे? This is, I'll tell you the very simple point. Suppose you and I are sitting in a 5-star hotel because status पे आ गए हैं। अब मेरे पास इतना ही पैसा है कि मैं आपको कॉफी पिला दूं, मैं नहीं पी सकता हूँ क्योंकि मुझे 500 रुपए का बिल दिखता है। Because जब होटल में आपको राइट साइड देख करके ऑर्डर देना होगा, तो it's very difficult. You know, understand, go to the right side.
Yeah, the prices. आपको मेन्यू देखना नहीं है, आपको प्राइस देखना है कि मैं ऑर्डर दे रहा हूँ, उसका बिल कितना आने वाला है।
अच्छा, बिल कितना देना? अच्छा, उसको आपको पता है कि उतना ही पैसा है कार्ड में भी कि एक कॉफी एक ऑर्डर दे सकते हो, आप दो नहीं दे सकते। How do you manage? कभी आपकी जिंदगी में ऐसा पोजीशन है?
ऐसा हुआ है एक आधी बार, तो you have to be very smart on that day. You have forgotten your purse somewhere. The other person will pay the bill.
But other person you have invited.
Yeah, invited. But you can always say I forgot to bring my purse. And वो जानता है कि आप आई मर्सिडीज में हो, जैसे आपने कहा, तो इसको पैसे की कोई कमी नहीं है। कार्ड भूल गया बेचारा, आज मैं दे देता हूँ, कल ये खिला देगा।
What I do, in fact,
so I think that is the confidence.
That's a confidence, yes. But what exactly I do that, आज मेरा व्रत है, मैं आज नहीं दूंगा, मैं कुछ भी नहीं खा सकता हूँ। And I know कि उतना है तो निकल जाएगा। कई बार तो ऐसा भी हुआ कि वो भी बिल पास नहीं हुआ। And you just pray to God, hey भगवान पास हो जाए, हे भगवान निकल जाए, हे भगवान निकल जाए, and something like that. So how do you feel?
कुछ एक issues पहले बचपन में मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ है। When I was initially working and living alone, I had no money one day and I have to go back to Delhi. So I just prayed God कि I don't have enough money. I have ticket in my hand, but I do not have enough money to eat something. 10 रुपए नहीं है जेब में। तो स्टेशन तो पहुंच गए, and you know, just pray. I'm a believer in God.
Prayer has a power.
Prayer has power, and I tell you how it happened. How it happened. While on walking from outside the railway station, I saw 100 rupees lying in front of me. And I was looking here and there. There was nobody, so I just picked up that 100.
कोई तो आएगा ना।
कोई तो आएगा, उठाया और 5 मिनट इधर उधर देखा कोई आया कि ये मेरा है। जब कोई नहीं आया तो जेब में डाला और चले आए। Who gave that 100 rupees? I still don't.
So God. See, I can tell you, 2 years back, दिवाली का एक दिन पहले क्या था, and we didn't have fun to give the Diwali gift. And my wife is very systematic. देना है तो देना है, क्योंकि बच्चे हैं. And I was just thinking what to do, मैं क्या करूँ, क्या ना करूँ, and something. And right from the beginning, since I'm a businessman, so I started investing in my money in the business rather than buying jewelry to sell it out. अब विश्वास नहीं करोगे कि सर मैं हल्दीराम के पास खड़ा था, and suddenly मेरे मोबाइल का मैसेज बजा, and one client had so long back, 2 years back, 2 साल पहले, मैं उसको बैड प्राप्त किया, 2 लाख credited to account.
What a relief and what a
tear came in my eyes.
One very tremendous incident happened with me. Yeah. I was on official tour in Woodland days.
Right.
Not very. Woodland days were the golden days. 94.
Right.
I remember. We went to Manali tour with my area sales manager.
Right.
I still remember him, Yashpal Sharma.
Right.
He and me both traveling. Right. And as usual, ASM feels that boss is with me, so I don't have to spend money.
Yeah, correct.
He was not carrying much cash. कि boss है, होटल भी यही बुक कराएंगे, ठीक है, कंपनी की तरफ से चल रहे हैं, टूर है. So we went there, डीलक्स बस में मनाली से चलते थे दिल्ली.
आज भी वही है.
आज भी वही. तो मनाली पहुंच गए, 2 दिन का वहाँ स्टे था, घूमते रहे. And suddenly we realized कि होटल का बिल जो है, I always used to have a diners club at that time card with me. So I was always used to be very confident. Card तो last में है ही. Then I realized कि I have done a lot of shopping and all that. Cash is finished. No, cash is finished. Diners club is there. look at the misfortune. That hotel we were staying was not accepting Diners Club at that time. Because Diners Club was a very, like American Express and Diners Club are not accepted at everywhere. So that hotel was not accepting the Diners Club card. So I said, bhai, and during those days ATMs were not there. So you can't withdraw the cash. You only had a credit power. So now what to do? So I told my guy, I said, look here, you have put me in a trouble. You also don't have brought money. My money is finished. And now we have to go back also. Ticket to humne shukar hai, Manali to Delhi le liya hai. But now on the way we have to eat something. Plus we have to clear this bill. And don't have the enough money. So he said, kya kare? I said, ring up that Kullu wala distributor. Kullu Manali is nearby. I said, you ring up that Kullu distributor, let him help, because Woodland has a big name, and humne agar mang liye to happily he will come and give. So I said, call this guy, and he said that guy is not picking the phone. And you'll be surprised. On the Mall Road, Manali, while we are in tension, worried how to pay the bill, this gentleman, Kullu distributor, comes and puts hand on it. Nathani साहब आप क्या कर रहे हो? I said तुमको ढूंढ रहा हूँ गुरु, पैसा दे दे, तुमको ढूंढ रहा हूँ, and go and pay, clear my bill, and I will send you the money once I reach back. So this one incident to come to my mind. In that case, exactly. Kullu, I remember the party Kullu Boot House, and that gentleman paid the bill, and then we came back. And then I made it a point always, whenever there's a learning, one should never do like that. Depend on your diners club. They give you a day.
लेकिन जिसकी जिंदगी ही इसी तरह से चलती हो कि कल पता नहीं वो क्या करे, तो फिर तो कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता. Like जिसकी जिंदगी, people say they plan fun, plan this. So I know,
but a learning was this, that always when you travel, keep some cash handy.
सर जब हो ही ना हो तो क्या करे?
हाँ वो तो फिर बात ही अलग.
जब उसके पास है ही नहीं तो वो क्या करे?
अलग बात है. ये तो मैं टूर की बात.
हाँ तो अब जिसके पास पैसे ही नहीं है वो क्या कर सकता है? उसके पास फिक्स एसेट्स है, उसके पास बंगलो है, उसके पास गाड़ी है, उसके पास सब कुछ है, लिक्विड है ही नहीं.
Go to Gurdwara and have langar.
Another point. My God. So as all creator is there is, I personally believe that here is a message, keep a good intent, and I personally bang on the ideas of my father and grandfather. दादाजी हमेशा एक बात कहते थे कि चींटी एक बिल में रहती है ना, ऊपर वाला उसका खाना वहाँ पे भी दे देता है. Keep on working, and always remember some power holds your hand and take to the destiny. You never know whose and what that power is. And sir, I experienced this thanks to Shiva, thanks to Creator, and I strongly believe in this power. And मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि उसने फिक्स कर रखा है कि the person will come, hold your hand, ये यहाँ से यहाँ ले जाएगा, यहाँ से यहाँ ले जाएगा.
This is destiny.
That's a destiny.
This is exactly destiny.
That's a destiny.
We are just working. Destiny does not mean we should stop working.
That's right.
We have to work to reach to a destination through destiny.
That's right. Sir, it's a fantastic talking to you. The last question I'm asking about that. Already you have written the book called The La La Land, and anybody who believe in the retailership or in the retail marketing,
I will give you.
Acha, thank you so much. In fact, I need it because I hadn't gone. That's point.
Thank you. Must go through it.
Yeah. The question is, what is the new book? What is the new idea? The one is, how are you enjoying your lecturership as a professor?
Absolutely. I am enjoying my lectureship at Jaipuria Institute of Management, as well as I have got a new offer from BIRLA Institute of Management. So I am teaching there also, as well as I am looking after their retail summit, which is going to happen on 18th May. So I am actually helping them on academia and industry relationship building.
That's required. That is required.
That's a part. So you can say दोनों हाथ में लड्डू, एक में जयपुरिया, एक में बिमटेक है. And plus सबसे बड़ी बात है कि अगर उससे भी दिल ना भरे तो दिमाग को कैसे संतुष्ट किया जाए?
किताब लिखते हैं.
किताब लिखते.
Wow, that's good. Very good.
My side hobby is continuously to write second book. One day suddenly I got up in the sleep and found out that I must write a second book. And idea came that मैंने अपने बारे में बता दिया सब कुछ, लेकिन मैं कैसे राइज हुआ, किसको देख के इंस्पायर हुआ, ऐसी कौन सी ब्रांड थी जिसने मुझे इंस्पायर किया to continuously work like this.
So you want to tell their story in your book?
Now I am telling the story, the brands which inspired me during that period of 25 years, during my growth, जिन्होंने मेरे दिल दिमाग पे असर छोड़ा, तो उनमें मैं बहुत सारी 7 ऐसी ब्रांड को लेके आ रहा हूँ.
You can say the name of the brand here also.
So because one thing which attracted me most was when it comes to footwear, my story goes for the Liberty shoes.
That's right.
Because they are there for more than 60 years.
Yeah,
so I call them survival of the fittest story.
Correct.
Because they have survived onslaught of not only Indian brands, but a lot of foreign MNC brands like Adidas, Reebok, and still growing at a pace of 10 to 15% each year.
Growth.
And they are increasing in retail, wholesale, and everywhere. So I will call them lambi race ka ghoda. Survival of the fittest. Second is, when I was actually working in Woodland, one brand which really attracted me was PVR Cinema.
Oh, that's
because I was very fond of films and all that, and only source of entertainment was to go with the family on every Saturday to Priya Cinema at Vasant Vihar.
Or so you can go alone also. Why all the time? Yes, anyway, carry on.
So I realized one thing, that this multiplex concept, which started by Bijli's, it is going to be a future entertainment.
Yeah.
So today when I look back, and I sponsored a lot of movies at Woodland days.
Right.
We had a tie-up with PVR Cinema,
right.
And we realized that my youth segment, again my target, was the same target which was going to PVR. So we released our all commercials all on theatre, and which gave us a lot of patronage by our customers. So I think PVR is unlimited entertainment.
Yeah, that's right.
I call it unlimited entertainment. And third,
so you're giving the title Unlimited Entertainment.
Yeah, it's a subtitle, Unlimited Entertainment. And then there's another brand which gave me, sort of an encouragement that even when the brand totally collapses, somebody can else pick up from the ashes and rise like phoenix. So, rise like phoenix from the ashes.
Which brand is it?
Tech Mahindra.
Oh, Tech Mahindra is amazing.
They picked up Satyam. Satyam had collapsed. Raju was arrested, managing director, and Mahindra took over, and they gave it to Mr. C.P. Gurnani to run this company.
Right.
And today, Tech Mahindra has become one of the major players, India's topmost player.
Program for them.
Most
of all these companies have done the program.
So Tech Mahindra is a third story. The fourth is High Design. The people who make leather bags for the ladies. The first international brand, first Indian brand to make entry at Selfridges in London.
Right.
And their bags were a craze. And then they started in the late 90s at Indian airports, their shops. And then at the malls, when the mall culture started in India, then they started. That's again a brand which inspired me during our days. So High Design is one of the other brands. And when it comes to, these are all family-driven companies, because I am looking at family-driven always. Monte Carlo from Oswald Group
that's right.
is another group from Ludhiana, which actually makes me feel, because I used to wear sweater, because we live in Delhi and all that. So the first choice of sweater used to be from Oswald and from Monte Carlo. So then they have developed their line for summer, t-shirts and all that. So it has become, I personally feel, a very, very inspiring brand.
What's the heading you have given for the Monte Carlo? Subheading of the story?
International fashion.
International fashion. So it's amazing. In fact, last week I was in Ludhiana and, for these companies only. So and that's what's
So these are the few companies I have thought of.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the last one, what I'm sharing my own concluding part is that you must read his another book, because it will tell you how this company survived during the tough time. Like you and me, financial problem, this company too have a financial problem. This company has survived from the license rush to the completely liberalized with the global market, and they're surviving, they're doing very well with the proper succession and everything. So I'll take a break, and of course in the future I'll meet again with his book launch. This time 100% I'm going to come.
Thank you.
Another book is coming up, and I strongly will recommend the book to be written, which is written by the personality like B.D Nathani sir. Thank you very much for watching this show, and I'll request you to share with your friends to understand the marketing from inside out. So Thank you.
Thank you so much,
God bless.
Rathore,
That's
for
right.
giving me this opportunity and really loved this show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.